Hello everyone, and in this video what we'll be doing is we'll be going over something that you see quite a lot in my YouTube videos or also on my Twitter and kind of all over my blog as well. And the tool that I'm using right now in front of me is a tool called Todoist. And Todoist, like a lot of other tools out there, is a task management service. And I get a lot of questions all the time from people on Twitter, people in real life, and other people as well, through email and things like that, and just saying, why do you choose Todoist above the other task management applications? And obviously, all of them do pretty much the same sort of thing. But it's important for you, if you're going into a new project, you're going into a new thing, to be able to understand what that service offers you, but also the benefits it can bring in terms of making the quality of that work or that project or the efficiency of that project even better as you go along. So I'm going to go over some of the core fundamental reasons why I'm using Todoist and why I actually recommend it slightly above all of the others at the moment, and why you should definitely check it out if you're a new entrant to the kind of productivity market. So the first kind of thing that really gets me excited about Todoist is it's like simple and distraction-free service. So as you can see, I'm just using an example project at the moment in front of me, but this is the user interface, and it's very similar across the board. On the Mac, on the PC, and on the web version, you get a very similar white, clear, distraction-free area where you can do and upload your work. And the next thing is the applications are really distraction-free and simple. They haven't gone to like hideous lengths to make it a really amazing experience. They've gone, okay, here's the experience. It's simple, it's perfect, and get on with the work kind of thing, which is really, really nice. The next thing I really like about Todoist is its search functionality, and I'm just going to demo it here. So if I go over to the top of the page, I can click search and filter tasks. And if I wanted to search Twitter and see all the tasks that I have relevant to Twitter, I could do that. But the brilliant thing around this is if I type in twit, say, it brings up the same task. And that's because it still detects all of the TWs inside everything. So it's actually really deep. So as you can see, other things started popping up then, which is really, really incredible. So it's got a really, really strong search functionality. And I really find that so useful when I'm going across my day, because sometimes oh, have I actually logged that as a task for later to do? Oh, I just click the search. Actually, it's here. It's already ready for me for tomorrow at 4 p.m., which is fantastic. And I really, really like that kind of functionality. So that is one thing that's really, really useful, search. Next thing is karma and accountability. So on Todoist, you have this feature up here, and you get it full functionality in premium. But basically what it does is it tracks your entire progress of all your tasks and all your projects. So you can see, firstly, your kind of progress of your karma points. So as you can see, it's going up and up and up, which is brilliant. And it gives you a rating based on the amount of tasks you've done. And as you can see, it gives you a plus 13. It gives you what the last update was when you checked it. You can see all of your completed tasks from here, which is really, really useful. And you can see all of how many tasks you completed in the last 7 days. And as you can see, there's this bar here, which kind of gives you a daily goal of 5. I should really be increasing that to over here. And also your completed tasks in the last 4 weeks. And then you can see your daily streaks, weekly streaks. I'm doing pretty well at the moment. Obviously, for some people, this will vary. Like, I know people who will actually only get 10 things done on their Todoist or 1 thing done. And that's more of a approaching strategy. So obviously for me, I break down all of my tasks because I have an inability to work out what the next action is sometimes, and I really crunch everything down until the next actions. So for example, write a YouTube video, create a YouTube video, it would be write the script for this YouTube video. And that might be 4 or 5 tasks in the whole thing. So that's how I do it. Other people might do it completely differently. And, results really show that kind of outcome. Anyway, so it breaks it down really, really nicely there. And you can see all of that. And it's really useful for accountability. So what I tend to do at the end of my day or the end of my week is go over my completed tasks. And I go, okay, which ones did I do? Which main projects, which like high priorities did I complete in a day? And then what I can also do on the settings is also actually go into detail in graphs on how well I did in a specific area that week. So I'm not sure if I could demo it on here. But basically, okay, so here are the settings. But basically what you can do is you can see specifically how many, what areas you were most effective in task-wise. So as you can see, green was the most effective, so that's my workplace. Yellow is my personal brand, and I think red is still my workplace. So you can see how many projects you've done in that specific time, which is really, really useful data for accountability. The next thing that I really tend to love about Todoist, and this again is on premium, and obviously I'm going to talk about premium in a sec because it's something that's out there and, blah, blah, blah. But labels and features. So labels basically allow you to crunch all of your tasks into specific groupings. And that's multiple tasks from multiple projects. So for example, if I am looking at a task and I'm like, okay, I need my Chromebook to complete this task, I will tag it with the Chromebook tag. That's a computer, by the way. And then if I'm looking at tasks, I'm like, that's going to take 15, 20 minutes to complete. Then I'm going to tag it with 20 and so on and so forth. And even with proactivity, energy level. So as you can see, proactiveness, I can click on all the tasks that I need my full attention to do. Or I can see all of my tasks that I need offline to do. So that's really, really, really useful when it comes to trying to master things. The next thing is filters, and what I use with filters is email attack, things like that. Got 10 minutes, so these are all the tasks with 10 minutes. Email, every single task with email, set message, send, so I can get some emailing done. On the train, what tasks I actually have to do on the train, which is great. Ones that have smartphone, etc., etc. So it's a really useful, when you start using labels and filters, it's really, really useful because you can start getting like really deep functionality inside. And you can start making up rules for yourself as well, which is really, really great fun because you're all going to have different situations in your day. You're going to, you know your situation better than I do. You might be the person that has 18 minutes in a taxi ride home and your energy level is low. You can tailor that with labels and filters. You might have 43 minutes of an afternoon on a Wednesday and you are high energy level. So you can tailor the filters towards those specific situations. I tend to start off with some really simple ones and then build on to bigger ones. But that's how labels and filters come in. And I think that's one of the core fundamental features of Todoist and why you should definitely think of downloading it. That kind of leads me on to just talking briefly about premium. I'm not even like, I chat with Todoist and their team every now and then. I speak to the founder like every 2 months for a random email. They're an amazing team. They've done really, really well to do what they've do with their situation, to do what they've done in the last couple of months. They've really, really pushed it. And a lot of people ask, like, are you sponsored by Todoist? Are you sponsored by that? And I'm not actually not sponsored by anyone at the moment. I'm doing my YouTube channel kind of off of the back of all of like my interests and actually telling you which one's the best task management apps are doing. And obviously I do get a lot of requests for email about, actually doing some paid stuff like that. But at the moment, I'm trying to keep everything as clean as possible, explaining all the things. And at the moment, Todoist is the king of the productivity apps for me at the moment. And it's really contending with people like Evernote and Sunrise that I also do talk about highly too. So when I talk about Todoist Premium, I'm talking about it as a useful tool way. And I think Todoist Premium is a fantastic service for what you get for what you get for 2 cups of tea in England, about £3 to £4 every month. I think it's even £2 every month. That's incredible. I think it's £13 to £18 a year, depending on where you are, which is incredible because you get a lot of functionality from it and you get a lot of features that allow you to track your productivity, allow you to kind of keep a clear mind towards focusing on the next thing. So I definitely recommend Premium, especially if you're using it more than 5+ times a day and you're either on the computer or your phone, because you'll find it becomes super, super useful for that sort of stuff. Anyway, moving on from that, team features really do excite me. I actually was using the business account for Todoist for a while with my previous business, and it was awesome. What we were able to do is, so just an example is, you can quick task and you can actually go to the project you're working on. So this one obviously is, so if I click here, it's going onto a shared project. I can actually choose the person. So this is my flatmate. We manage a house account, which is really, really cool. If I wanted to assign him something, I literally click mark, and then I could, I'm just going to say, have a great weekend, and he'll probably get this one done. And I'll just write tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I'm just going to, put a priority level, and it's quite high, obviously. And assigning that to him makes it really, really easy for the kind of team projects, which is really, really great. So I really highly recommend you using a team tool inside there. It's actually free to add 25 people, I think. So start adding people to some of your projects and start sharing stuff with them. And you can see, you can tick things off for other people, you can do that kind of stuff. It's actually a really open way to start commenting, and I love the comments features. The comments features allow you to comment and then notify the other person about the comment. So it's kind of like a mini Slack, but you can also upload folders, obviously like Slack, voicemail, voice recordings, images, and lots of other stuff there, which is great. And what is great about this is the speed as well. So I remember when I was working on a project and I was demoing Todoist to like 30 school children, just going, you need this to be able to map your kind of work and be productive at school. And they were only in year 11. And I literally, on the spot, like assigned a task to the company that I was working for. And then someone ticked it off immediately later, and it was so fast. And they were like, whoa, this is impressive. And I think a few of them had gone away and then used it for a group coursework and kind of assigned stuff to each other. So that was kind of like a really useful example. Obviously not a business example, but obviously you can see it on a school scale, and that's important. So yeah, team features, this is kind of me rambling now. Team features are pretty useful. Speed, really fun commenting, and really great assigning abilities. The next thing I really want to shout out about is Todoist offline. So this isn't like a crazy feature, but one thing I found in the recent months with Evernote and Sunrise is that the syncing abilities are pretty weak. So for example, if I put something on Sunrise or I put something on Evernote and I access that note while I was offline, or access that note while I was on it and there was another note open at the same time offline and I edited it and it was a bit like, it would kind of have syncing issues, and Evernote would come back with an error. Sunrise will come back with, this wasn't actually added to your calendar or anything like that. And Todoist doesn't do this. Like, I'm on my iPhone on the way home from work and I'm ticking off tasks, but I've also gone on my computer offline and made loads of different changes or added loads of different tasks. As soon as I get home, open my laptop and keep it open to sync everything, like the Google Docs and everything like that. And then my phone attaches to Wi-Fi when I'm home. Like, everything seems to just work, and I'm really not worried about it having any issues losing any tasks that I'll forget later. Do you know what I mean? So what it does is it has a really, really strong sync offline. And another thing that's useful is it never seems to pop up with like an error message saying you are offline, and it understands that you are offline and you can add offline tasks. And I really appreciate that so much, because I'm offline some parts of my day, and even when I'm not offline and I've got low internet connection, then that is appreciated, because I don't want to be spammed by loads of messages and everything like that. So it's really, really useful. Okay, guys, there's some of my roundup ideas on why I'm using Todoist. I really value the service. I think the team's incredible. I think they're working really hard. And I hear they're working on some really great stuff from Amir. And I just think that you should definitely check it out. I think even if you're looking to start out, I think you should check out the free version and stay with that for like five or so weeks, and then work out if you're adding, if you look at mine, if you're adding more than like 20, 30 tasks a week or in the next 7 days, then I would think about looking at premium features. Because if you're using it that consistently and that amount, I think it comes into huge value with premium. And I think it gives you the ability to track those sort of things over time. So that's my kind of roundup. I really hope you liked it and maybe took some value from it. Maybe you're considering going over to Todoist, or you're considering I really don't mind what you take away from this video, but I'm just summarizing why I use it and why I think it's a really useful tool, and why I think that I will continue to use it for the next couple of months, unless there's going to be some sort of huge error with it, of course. But I think it's a great tool, and I think obviously sticking with one is quite important. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. As per usual, if you're not subscribed to me, do subscribe, and make sure to have a great week and keep productive.